But you know. Anyway, cool. All right, so now we know each other. I'm Gary. That's Emma, Ashton, Daniel, Kellen, and then there's two girls that their names really don't matter that are back there somewhere. She can hear you. I'm glad. All right. So as we get started, guys, I want to play a game. Okay. So, but to do this, I'm gonna have to split you guys up. All right. So you are on this team because your foot is extending over further than his, and you're on this team. All right. Yes, exactly. I need a runner from each team. Somebody who. All right. Head your hand up first. All right. You had your hand up first. Okay. So, runners, you can come up here with me. All right. Now here's how this game works. You've probably played some form of it before. I'm going to call out items that you may have on your everyday person, and very nice.
Yeah, more keys. No strings attached.
But now you want to jingle. All right. You have to. I will call out an item, and if you have that item, you need to raise it up in the air and hand it to one of your runners. None of you guys can actually get up. You guys are responsible for running and getting that and bringing it back to me. The first person who puts it in my hand, you'll get a point. All right. Everybody understand how that works? Okay. Also, there's no prize, but there is a consequence. Oh. You lose, there's a consequence. Not just for you two, but for the whole team. So, unless you want spank. We could change the consequence to spank. All right. Okay, we're not going to do that? All right, that's all right. Okay, so here we go. First item I'm looking for is money in the amount of at least $5. Doesn't have to be. I don't.
Somebody hand him a debit card.
Yeah.
Do it, Andy. Do it.
No.
There you go.
Does this count?
Yes.
No, I'm afraid it doesn't count. But I do have that card.
Hey, that counts. It is money in the form of more than $5.
Actually.
I actually don't think.
How about a check?
I was on me. I was thinking like, you know, it's a team, but you know.
I think so. I think that counts.
I got a check.
Does that count?
Is it written in the amount of $5? No, it's blank right now. Marquis just
That's
off.
it. All right.
Yeah.
Go, Marquis.
Nice work. All right, so that's
None
one
of us
point
have $5.
for you guys. All right, 1-0. Next item. I'm looking for a cell phone that does not have a touchscreen.
Oh.
One. All right, I'm looking for some pocket lint.
What? What'd be easy if I wasn't wearing these? These pockets aren't old. Oh, that's mangled yet. Ew.
He's not on a team that doesn't count.
That's true, because I know these songs you need to be over there. If you guys
Hey, okay, here, Marquis, I got this.
Maybe you should be over there.
Fly, Marquis, fly.
Go, Marquis!
No!
All right, they did have it here first. So.
Yay!
That's it. How do I know?
Joe, when did you lose?
Oh.
It's like, why do you like pocket lint so much?
It was totally clean before this. All right. 2-1. Three of you come up. Two. Only one. Or was it just Kellen?
You didn't accept my class.
You can play. Yeah, I just gonna say we need three over there to even it up if you guys are playing.
Yeah. Fine, Daniel. I've already designated myself.
You are such a bum. Never mind. All right, here we go. Next item. Now, you guys have got to get one here to stay in. That's all I'm going to say. I'm looking for a shoelace. Can't go on the shoe.
Off the shoe.
I mean, off the shoe.
Let me hurry.
Let me go.
Not these shoelaces, they're impossible.
Go.
Go.
Guys, flip-flops. Come on, Andrew.
I had my shoes tied.
Jacob, that was so unhelpful.
They need one to stay
Okay.
in. None of us wear
This
shoes.
is it. Whoever gets this wins the game. Here we go.
Marquis, just put your shoe down.
Just
take them off.
Kellen, I'm going to allow you to give a suggestion.
Cody!
I told you.
Or something that has to be gathered.
Please.
You're always so anxious.
I don't know. What do I want? What do I want to
Kellen, I thought you'd have it. You want me to just do it? All right, okay. I'm looking for a
I keep track of them.
belt.
I don't have my on. Roll McRae.
Jacob! What are you doing?
I forgot I was wearing a belt. Want to know what I was thinking,
Jacob,
Crystal?
you've been
You really want to know what I
useless.
was thinking?
No.
You've been useless.
Because it wasn't about...
It's like, all right.
Good job, team.
So this team
They won.
won. Give
Did
yourself a hand.
Thinking about this?
Yeah, we did.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
Now it's time for your consequence.
And now we have a
And Jacob has to do the
Jacob
consequence.
has to do it.
Because he
Yeah.
didn't help.
Yes.
Well, you all have to do it
He
at the
wouldn't
same
help
time.
with the shoelace
At the
or
same
that.
time.
I say
okay?
Andrea has to do it twice.
What you guys will be doing is reciting to them the poem of utter loss and shame. Okay. So if you could all please turn and look at your the other team here. So they all make an eye contact with you at least a little bit. Okay. Here we go. Now repeat after me, team losers. Dear magnificent winners.
Dear magnificent winners,
Your faces are gorgeous.
your faces are gorgeous.
If you were a puppy at PetSmart,
If you were a puppy at PetSmart,
I'd choose you.
I'd choose you.
You truly are
You truly are.
what the fox says.
What the fox says.
From the bottom of our hearts,
From the bottom of our hearts,
you are supreme,
you are supreme,
like pizza.
like pizza.
Mm.
Mm.
All right, let's give them a hand. Nice work. Very nice work. All right, now, okay, so that's a fun little game, fun little poem. All right, interesting. But here's what I think is kind of interesting. We've done a lot of places this year, and for the most part, at least if you're in the youth group, I am a stranger to you. Am I not? You don't really know me. Hey, you're new. What's your name? Cody. Glad you're here. All right. But for the most part, you guys, don't know who I am. And really, you just gave all those wonderful things to a stranger. I got a cell phone, some money. I almost got a card.
Don't worry, it was a church card.
Okay. Still works for me. All right. I got some belts. All right. People are taking, parts of clothing off from me. I'm just a stranger, right? All right, it's weird. Okay, now if we were in a different scenario, let's say we were in Walmart or at a gas station, and I just walked up, still the stranger, and I was like, hey, can I have your money? Hey, can I have your cell phone? Hey, give me your belt. All right, as weird as that would be, it's a totally different situation. It's like, no, there's no way I'm going to give you those things, but yet you gave them all to me tonight. What's the difference? You had a legitimate reason to do so. Or at least you believed you did. All right? And that's kind of what we want to focus on here tonight, because there's a lot of stuff in our lives we are or are not willing to give up. But really, when it comes down to it, a lot of times that's because we feel we do or don't have a legitimate reason for giving them up. And a specific area I want to look at tonight, that we want to look at tonight, is our relationship with God. All right? Our relationship with God, because the reality is the Bible tells us in Romans 12 that we are to give our lives up to God as a sacrifice. Basically to say, God, here is my life. It's yours. You do with it whatever you want. That's a pretty big deal, all right? A lot of times we hear that. I can remember, when I first came across this truth and really considered it, it's like, that's my life. I don't know how I feel about that. That's huge, right? And really when it comes down to it, a lot of us aren't willing to give something like that up, that big up, because we really don't believe we have a legitimate reason to do so. We don't really believe we have a legitimate reason to do so. Well, what we want to do tonight is we want to look at some legitimate reasons why we should do what Romans 12 says and say, God, here's my life. Here's my future. Here's my dreams, my desires, whatever. We're going to look at some legitimate reasons why we should do that, right? And before we begin that, I'm going to need your guys' help again. But I'm going to need your guys' help with our first skit, all right? So anybody can, if there's not anybody who raises their hand, we'll just choose people. But is there anybody who'd like to go, who'd like to volunteer? All right, come on up. Give her a hand because she volunteered. And I'm going to give you some power here, okay? I want you to pick two people, I don't care who it is, from the audience, and they have to come up here with you, okay?
Shania and Micah.
All right, come on up. Let's give them a hand. Okay. Excellent. Okay. And now I want you guys to pick two people from the Take 6 team that you would like to see come up here. You can do it based on attractiveness, you know, style, which is pretty much all the same. But whatever you want. Here, you pick one from over there, and you pick one from over here. Yeah, you pick one from over there, and then you grab one from over there. Sarah's coming up, and Kellen. All right. Okay, now I want the rest of you guys to pick a leader. All right, you three, I want you to pick one of your leaders that you decide on that you'd like to see up here. All right, Joe, come on up. It's like a reckoning. Take 6, the parentheses. All right. Okay, so let me see. I gotta make sure we have enough here because that would be lame if we didn't. I think we have enough. Excellent. Okay, so let's go ahead and read these off here. All right. Down here, Joe. This makes sense. Perfect sense. We'll be playing Joe No. See what I did there? Okay. Let's see here. You are going to be the friend. Sarah's the friend. Okay.
Way to be a friend, Sarah.
You are going to be the storm. Okay. And then let's see here. You two are going to be the boat. All right. And then last but not least, Kelton's going to be the whale. Is that Absolutely. That's right. Absolutely. All right. Okay, none of you guys are off the hook, though, because you're also all going to be playing a part, which I will reveal to you soon. Okay? I'm going to read a story here, and you just have to act out whatever I say that your character does. Okay? So be enthusiastic, but, you know, let's just stick to exactly what it says here. And this is called A Whale of a Tale, because it sounds nice to say. All right, here we go. One day, Jonah was out here walking around. See, he was on his way to meet up with some of his friends when all of a sudden he was confronted by a dangerous group of thugs known as the Wannafights, which is all of you guys. All right, this was a tough group, okay? And the Wannafights. You get it?
We want to fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Good job.
Hilarious joke.
Thank you.
She's a school teacher, everyone.
But Joe knew who they were. He'd seen their graffiti all over here. Alright, it was a dangerous group, I'm telling you. Okay, when they saw him, they all snarled.
Snarl.
That was... Then they growled. Good distinction. Then they shook their fists and began yelling, "Hey you!
Hey, you! Hey! Hey! Hey!
He was so... He said no.
No.
He began shaking his head. Then the rest of his body began shaking.
Just like that.
First they said, "Wanna fight," loudly.
Wanna fight? That's her
They said
name.
it softly.
Wanna fight?
Then quickly.
Wanna fight?
Then slowly.
Wanna fight?
And then that was enough of that. Joe did his best to ignore them. So suddenly he pointed over here and shouted, "Squirrel! Squirrel!" They all looked, and he used this moment to use his really awkward run to get away. Everything's a dance to you. Excellent, Joe. Eventually he made it to his friend's house over here, and when they met up, they did their secret handshake that no one had ever seen before. You can tell they really enjoyed it a lot. Anyway, they were meeting to plan their upcoming whale watching trip. See? Yeah. Joe, anyway.
Kellen watching.
We couldn't hear what Joe was saying, but we saw his lips moving as he told the tale. Yes. And at the end of this, they both decided by nodding that the Wannafights weren't even worth thinking about. So they decided to watch some TV. So they sat down, and oh look, there's one. And as they were watching TV, all of a sudden Joe heard a voice which sounded like this, sort of. Joe, but probably not, because it was God. But he was the only one that could hear it, so his friend gave him a really weird look when he said yes.
Yes.
And they kept watching TV. Eventually the voice of God again Joe, this is God. I want you to go tell the Wannafites about me. I can't, Joe said loudly.
I can't!
Again, his friend gave him a weird look because he couldn't hear God himself. So Joe said, I can't wait to go on the whale watching trip.
I can't wait to go on the whale watching trip.
His friend was satisfied. So they got up, stood up, off the ground, and they both jumped in the air and gave each other a high five. Excellent. And then they got on the boat. Where's the boat?
Oh,
Come on, boat. Come on up. So they got on the boat. It was time for the whale watching trip. But when they got to sea, a huge storm hit. Right? Don't let her deceive you. This was a huge storm. Okay, so here came the storm. Flowing around the boat, crashing, making thunder and lightning, twirling. It was terrifying. Aren't you terrified? All right?
This is so
It was
scary.
absolutely terrifying. The boat began to rock to that side and throw everyone that way. And then it rocked to this side and threw everyone that way, and then back again and again. And everyone's got so sick they started throwing up over the side of the boat. It was awesome. All right? And Joe screamed loudly over the wind and the rain and its own heaving. It's my fault. Throw me in.
It's my... It's my fault! Throw me in!
And so his friend grabbed him and threw him in. And that was that.
Oh man.
The storm over here did one last little jig around the boat. Again, still terrified. And then the storm ceased, and everyone applauded the storm's performance. Very, very nice. And so, Joe's friend and the boat sailed off that way. And Joe was left alone, treading water. He was alone. So he began to cry. Yet again, in a somewhat dance-like. He then began to wail. And then he saw a whale that came blubbering and gurgling over.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes, and I think y'all know what happened. It just opened its mouth and swallowed him whole. It was probably the most awkward whale swallowing anyone had ever seen all year. But it happened, as you can see. Well, once Joe got on the insides of this whale, he was so disgusted he fainted.
You're so peaceful.
Which is probably kind of more weird. But over the next 3 days, Joe began to pray about his wrongdoing, and the Lord was ready to set him free. The whale, meanwhile, realized it had eaten something that didn't agree with him. It was a bad case of indigestion. You can just use that all the time if you want. All right? From now on, that's yours. All right? Well, the bad pun made the audience groan. And Joe made the whale groan. And it got ready to do some major heaving. After 2 dry heaves, he took a big breath, hurled Joe into dry land, and we were all thankful to see them stop spooning. Excellent.
You showed me.
No, well, I did not know the ramifications. Joe, though, knew he was still alive and not in heaven because he looked down in his shirt and realized he'd been heaved up. Yes, it was terrible. So the Lord told Jonah to take his message to the Wannafites, and after changing his shirt, he went. Well, yes. You want to help? Okay. After hearing the message God had for them, the Wannafites decided to change their ways and change their name to...
Wanna give.
The
Wanna give.
Don't wanna gives. That's what I heard.
Yeah, Hayden.
Which, hey, Okay.
So it makes it
Beautiful.
that one.
All right. From that day forward, though, God did not have to send Job by hurling him. He simply walked wherever God wanted him to. The end. Good job, everyone. You guys can sit down. Excellent work, for the most part. A little weird at times, but hey, you had our attention. All right. Well, before we do our first skit for you guys, Cassidy's going to come out here and she's going to introduce that. So let's give her a hand as she does so.
Thank you guys, that was great. Although I have my doubts that any of us have ever experienced what Jonah had experienced, I'm sure we all have in a similar way. In Ephesians 2:10 it says, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do so that we would walk in them." But in the Bible, not only did God create us, but he created us for a specific purpose. But like Jonah, we have a choice. So the first reason why we should give our lives to God is because God desires to use us. Now our next skit, ironically, is about a drama team trying to come up with a good skit idea to help others want to serve their lives for Christ. It is called the Act of Unfreezing.
Did you even show up for doctor last night?
I did, but I was in the rafters.
What?
It was bad.
Hi guys.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm your substitute drama leader for today. I guess your drama leader got sick, so I'm kind of taking their place. And I guess you guys have a skit to work on or something, but I don't really know how this all goes. So I'm gonna kind of just let you guys take the reins.
You know, you'll be all right. What do we got to do this time?
Oh, well, the pastor wants us to do a 5-minute sketch about service. Apparently there's an outreach coming up this weekend, and he wants this skit to encourage others to take part.
Yeah, like that'll work.
Do you have any ideas if you know how we're gonna do it? Like anything?
I don't have a clue yet, but I was hoping that we could brainstorm and maybe do some improvising and see what we come up with.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's start in a realistic setting. The church service has just ended, and the pastor is out in the foyer trying to get people to commit to helping. Naomi, you be the pastor, and Nathan, you be his target.
Yes! 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 Time to shine.
Ready?
You want me to be the pastor? Isn't that a little weird?
No, it'll be fine. We're just brainstorming. And go.
Hi, Pastor. Great sermon today. I was so convicted, I almost had my baby. It's okay. I'm playing a pregnant woman.
Aw, cute.
Feel it.
Yeah, I'm not doing this with him.
I'll go. Wow, look how far along you are. I was gonna say something, but I didn't want to accidentally offend you.
Oh, no offense taken.
So, where's your husband?
Oh, you know, probably off somewhere talking how great it's going to be when he doesn't have to deliver this baby. You know, men.
Okay, this is weird, right?
You know, I used to deliver babies.
Oh, really? I would love your help when the time comes.
No problem. That's what pastors are for. Speaking of help, though, would you mind helping me with this weekend's outreach event thing? See what I did there?
Now, how could I say no to the man who's going to deliver my child?
And that's how it's done.
Yeah.
How was it?
That was really
Awful.
Creepy.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
What was wrong with it? It was short, I said yes, and had a very interesting subplot.
Yeah, most of those things are what actually made it really bad.
Yeah, how about we try something a little more realistic?
I hated it.
Look, how about someone else gives it a try?
Well, you know, I do have some other
We'll
ideas.
go.
No, seriously, I do have some other ideas.
It's Russell's turn.
Oh, man.
Same place, same scenario, go.
Oh. Hey, how's it going?
I like you too.
I didn't say that. Hey, what's up? Hey, guys. How's it going? Good day today.
What are you doing?
Oh, just saying hey to some of my favorite people in the whole world.
Whatever. So there's an outreach this weekend? Then I was wondering if you could help.
Oh, well, you know, Pastor, I really, 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 really wish I could, but I can't.
Really?
Yeah, sorry.
Russell, did you know this church has a cellar?
I can't say that I did.
It's true. A dark, old, forgotten cellar where no one will be able to hear your scream. Imagine sitting in a pitch dark place for the rest of your life. Scared, alone. Oh, but wait. What's that sound? What could it be? There's really no way to tell when you're sitting in the dark like this, is there? Wrong. It's rats. They slowly work their way up your legs, tearing the flesh.
Whoa.
Sorry. I lost myself for a second.
Nice! No one's gonna say no to torture.
Ew.
Okay, I'm pretty sure we're taking this from the wrong angles. So, two places. Hey, Naomi. What's up? You look good. What am I talking about? You look great. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay, now don't freak out. I know what you're probably thinking, but I am not about to ask you out.
Actually, I wasn't thinking that at all.
Oh. Well, good, because that's definitely not what I was going to say. But something that I did really want to tell you is that on the outside, people might see this scary, evil thing. But on the inside, I'm sure there's this wonderful, sweet girl that just wants to break out and be free.
I hate every word that just came out of your mouth.
What? Naomi, you are crazy. This is the nicest guy ever. In fact, Gail, I'm sorry, I've changed my mind. He's delivering my baby now.
Let's do it again. Except this time, I'll be Naomi.
Stop touching me.
Guys, I was hoping our ideas for recruiting help this weekend would be a little more down to earth.
You call that recruiting?
I could use a little bit more recruiting in my life. Okay. So you know the problem is here? There just wasn't enough soul, not enough feeling, not enough follow?
I'm a little afraid.
That's what I like to hear.
What?
Russell, you're the pastor again. And you two are some other people.
Perfect.
I'm gonna go get something.
Wait, where are you going?
So, how are you?
Oh, me, you know, I've been feeling very not pregnant. That, yep. I'm gonna stand over here.
So, Pastor, isn't there an outreach tonight or something?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, that actually the church was going
Hi there! My name is Elsa, and this is my husband, Kristoff.
Oh.
You know, something about this is seeming a little commercial.
Oh, Hans, you're hilarious.
Please don't call me Anna.
Anna, you look so warm and vibrant today, and I'm sure you've been busy with the castle and everything, and now to get frozen again.
Gail, are you sure you're not just trying to act out a really popular movie that you like a lot?
Me? No. Now before you're gonna ask me if I want to build a snowman with you, I just wanted to say that you can't let anything keep you back from serving God. You just have to. You just have to. Let him go. Let him go. Don't let him hold you back anymore. Let him go. Let him go. Or your plans right out the door. How was it? Could you feel it?
Guys, what are we even doing here? What's the point of all this?
Mrs. Hernandez, I'm not telling you how to do your job or anything, but it's a great movie.
And it does have some catchy music.
Yeah.
I hated it. Just kidding, I loved it.
Guys, you didn't like it? I liked the movie, but that's not what we're trying to do here. We need to communicate something about service, like how God has gifted you guys with acting, sort of, so that you can use it to serve Him. Other people in the church need to know that God has given them all different gifts and interests that He wants to use. So many people are afraid to be used by God because they think that He'll ruin their lives, when in all reality, He knows the best and most fulfilling places to use those gifts.
Wow. That's it. That's the skit right there. It's our job to take frozen people and warm them up to serving God.
Well, that's a stretch, but okay.
See, what I tell you guys, we got this.
I guess it is pretty neat how God gives us gifts so that we can serve Him.
Yeah, you know what? It sounds like you guys are getting the idea. Let's take a break. We'll come back later. Let's take 5.
All right.
You heard that?
So, luckily that isn't the same process that we go through when we come up with our skits, but a lot of what's in there rings true to our lives today. See, a lot of people are afraid to give their lives to God because they're afraid He's going to ruin it. He's going to send us to some dark village in Africa with no Facebook, no Wi-Fi, no smartphones. Scary, right? Yeah. But in fact, the opposite is true. See, the Bible tells us in 1 Peter 4:10, as each has received a gift, use it in serving one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. See, the Bible tells us that God has given us all of our gifts, talents, and interests. And not only that, but knows the best and most fulfilling ways for us to use them. And that, right there, is the second reason why we should serve God with our lives. Because He gave us all of our gifts, talents, and interests, and knows the best and most fulfilling ways for us to use them. Now, our next skit, Nathaniel is going to come up, and he's going to do a dramatic reading called Oh Noah, You Didn't. Enjoy.
Thank you. I was originally the sound guy for the team, but our sound system fried. So Gary allowed me to do a dramatic reading. Now, dramatic readings have a long history of being a little more classy than what you used to with Take 6, but he allowed us to do that, so that's good. Now, the rest of the team wasn't really into that, so we're going to compromise. They're going to come and act it out while I do the dramatic reading, okay? My dramatic reading today comes from Genesis 6. And at this point in history, pretty much everyone in the world is living terribly wicked lives. And because of this, God's going to flood the earth. God speaks to a man named Noah, who, unlike the rest of the world, has actually been living a life that pleases God. So our story begins right after God has informed Noah that He's going to destroy the earth and everything on it except for Noah and his family. So whoever's playing Noah, go ahead and come on out. And we'll start here in Genesis 6. We couldn't get a guy to play Noah.
I thought you were going to say something. Old Spice. Smell like a man. this story. I'm just making sure that God knows that I'm ready to be spoken to. You know, it kills two birds with one stove.
That's not the saying, actually. I mean, it might work, but it doesn't make any sense. It's two birds with one stone, not stove.
Don't knock it till you tried it.
Right. Okay, I'm going to start reading in Genesis 6. And this is God speaking to Noah. Make for yourself an ark of gopher wood. You shall make the ark with rooms, and shall cover it inside and out with pitch. This is how you shall make it. The length of the ark 300 cubits, and its breadth 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. You shall make a window for the ark, and finish it to a cubit from the top, and set the door of the ark in the side of it. You shall make it with lower, second, and third decks.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to remember all that.
Well, maybe Noah wrote it down.
Oh, I wrote some of it down, but I'm pretty sure that God gave Noah a little more time than that.
Okay, I can repeat it.
No, it's fine. I got it. I'm going to need some help, though.
Okay, that's actually true. Noah had 3 sons who helped him build the ark. Their names were Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
I know. Shem, Shem, Japheth, gather around! Old Pops has got a story to tell you.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I mean, it's no big deal, but let's try and get their names right, okay? It's actually Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So.
Ooh, a perfectionist. Okay, whatever. Spam, Shem, and Jeffrey, gather around!
Sorry, hold on. I don't know, maybe I'm not saying it clearly. Why don't we say them together, and then we'll get this done, okay?
Whatever.
All right, so Shem, Ham, and Japheth. I'm sure that was much better, but I couldn't quite hear you. Why don't you go ahead and say yourself, and we'll see if we got this done now.
Okay. Spam, Shem, and George. You know, just call them something vague like sons or my sons or something simple like that.
Fine. It's probably safer than the alternative.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
All right. We all right. Got Cassidy one of the sons again.
Oh. Don't worry, I got you.
You know, it makes it smell like a man.
Yeah. I still couldn't help it. So. Yeah. Okay.
Nice. Come, come, my son, sit at my feet and eat, drink, and be married. Oh, wait, scratch that. You're brothers. You can't be married. What?
Nothing. I mean, aside from this becoming more and more terrifying and you sounding like Santa Claus, it's great.
He thinks I'm Santa. Nice.
Okay, I'm sorry. Right, they were going to build an ark. So.
Excuse me, Mr. Narrator?
Yes.
Don't you think I should be the one to tell them? After all, they are my sons. They should hear it from me. And, besides, I took those notes. Remember the notes? It'll be fine.
As long as you stick to the notes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
My firstborn son, the strength you possess is a credit to your body.
Yes, sir. I mean, thank you, Dad. I mean, oh, I'm such an idiot.
And my secondborn son, the wisdom you carry leaves all you kill wondering. But not anymore because they're dead. And my thirdborn son. Are you still doing that no talking thing? Attaboy.
Guys, this has nothing
No,
to do with it.
it's okay. Got this. Give me a minute here. All right. Actually, I don't have a clue what I'm supposed to say. I just wrote down the word gopher.
Was anyone up here listening while I was talking?
No.
Great, thank you. Japheth, why don't you go share with your brothers there what you're supposed to do, please? Okay. This is just taking way too long. So we're just gonna have to get through this next part really quickly.
Hey, I can help that because I was
Whatever.
just standing back there.
Awesome.
Okay, so where we were is that they were supposed to build an ark, and they gave the dimensions for that ark, the length, the breadth, the height, how it was supposed to be made. They also had to gather animals. God told Noah to take 2 of each kind, male and female. He said to bring 7 of the clean animals. They also had to gather food for their time on the ark. Not knowing necessarily how long they were going to be on there because they weren't. Guys, what are you doing?
Noah has to feed his fish.
Guys.
I mean, look! Food for the long journey!
No. Why do you have Swedish fish?
Because they taste awesome.
Okay. Everybody just stop for a second. Okay? Yeah, cute. Okay. Give me Swedish fish. No, seriously, please just give me Swedish fish. Let's say you're all on the ark now.
Hey, I got this too. Oh, okay.
Wow. It was really crowded.
So, then the flood came upon the earth for 40 days, and the water increased, and it lifted up the ark so that it rose above the earth.
I'm making water noises.
Figure that out.
You're welcome.
All flesh that moved on the earth perished.
Help! Help! Flood! We're perishing! That's the sound.
I know what that is. The water prevailed upon the earth for 150 days. I'm going to interject something for 150 days.
150
I'm sorry, this isn't working. I mean, everything you're doing is just really unnecessary for you to do any of those things.
Yeah, I know, but I really wanted to be part of this skit, and all the good parts were taken. So, sound effects.
Okay, hold on. You know, I think I've got a perfect part for you, Sarah. Eventually the raining stops, the water starts to lower.
Yeah.
Noah and his family, so they start to wonder if there's dry land anywhere so they can get off this boat that they've been stuck on with all the animals forever, right?
Yeah, because it was really crowded.
Got it. So anyway, they eventually send out a bird to see if there's any vegetation or dry land anywhere. Okay?
Yeah.
So, you, Sarah, are that bird.
I've always wanted to play a bird.
Just, great. This is your moment. So
Yeah.
go on, fly away, and go as far as it takes, as long as it takes.
Okay.
Don't come back to you quite a tree.
Yeah. Okay, I will not let you down, narrator. So long, suckers.
Okay, well, I apologize. I hope that takes care of that problem. Where was I? Right, so they sent out the bird. The waters are now receding. In the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dry. Then God spoke to Noah, saying, "Go out of the ark, you and your wife, and your sons, and your sons' wives with you."
Wait. Say that again, please.
Go out of the ark, you and your wife, and your sons, and your sons' wives.
Right there, boom, dude, we have wives! Yes! Oh.
All right.
You, family, come out.
Okay.
Bring out with you every living thing of all flesh that is with you.
You animals, come out too!
Okay, that was really good.
First she speaks to God, now animals? Dude, what's next?
Okay. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord. And he took of every clean animal and of every clean bird and offered burnt offerings on the altar. What did you guys do to Elmo?
Well, you see, we couldn't bring ourselves to kill one of the cute little animals that was on the ark with us.
So we settled for this guy. The poor thing didn't even see it coming.
Guys, this is actually really messed up.
It's not like he went down easy. The little guy, he kept laughing.
We've officially moved past the point of redemption here. Okay?
Alright, boys, let's do this.
Yes. No. Stop. Don't do that. Sorry, this is beyond saving. To sum things up, God used Noah and his family to preserve life, to allow the world to start over again without all of the wickedness that was previously there. And he also made a promise that he would never flood the entire earth with water again, and sealed that promise by putting a rainbow in the sky.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, it's a good thing they followed God's plan for their lives.
Hey, I wonder what would have happened if they had chosen to do something else.
Okay, see, that's a good question.
Hey
And what
guys, I got it! I got it! I did! I found land!
Wait, hold on. Sarah, you actually... Where did you get this tree?
Some old lady's lawn. I told her that God needed it.
I'm sorry, this is just going to take a lot of explaining. We better go now.
That's so...
Ecclesiastes 12:13-14 says, "Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is man's all. For he will bring every work into judgment, including every secret thing, whether good or evil." Now that was a weird skit, and you might have missed it in all the chaos, but we looked at two different groups of people. The first was pretty much the whole earth, and they chose to do whatever they wanted, which didn't end well for anyone. The second group was Noah and his family, and they chose to follow their true purpose and live for God. We saw how both paths ended, and in a way it's going to happen again. It won't be a flood, but people are going to realize that they wasted their life. Have we wasted our lives by seeking what we want, or are we seeking to please God? So the third reason why we should choose to serve God with our lives is because it's the only way to accomplish our true purpose for existing.
All right. Well, we got one last skit for you guys here tonight, and it's going to be a little bit different. So they're going to come on out here. This is going to be somewhat of an object lesson, but at the same time, it's a people lesson. And we're going to be using some objects to illustrate some things, but they're also going to be using themselves in their own lives to illustrate some things. And what we're going to do, you guys get a special up-close and personal look at a very crucial moment in their lives. See, they're all at the point where they are going to be choosing what they're going to be focusing on in life, what they're going to be devoting their lives to. And that is represented by these objects up here. So we're going to get to go on a little journey with them and see what they choose to live for and how that turns out for each one of them. So let's see how that goes here tonight. Let's go ahead and start with Cassidy down there on that end. And she's got the most objects to choose from, so that's got to be nice. And she's going with the yearbook. All right, hey, who doesn't like a yearbook? Maybe you don't like them, but it's kind of fun. Bring them home, open them up, see how many times you can find yourself, your own face in there. Everybody kind of does that. And hey, it's kind of exciting. Being popular is cool, it's fun. But, you know, sometimes it doesn't really, looks like she couldn't find herself in there. And you know what? That's really kind of the way popularity goes. Some people would tell you, live for popularity. Try to get as popular as you can, and then you'll be happy. The thing about being popular is, first of all, some people are just never going to get it. Some people are never going to be popular, and those who do become popular, it never lasts forever. It simply doesn't. You can't take that kind of thing with you when you die. It doesn't fully satisfy you. That's kind of disappointing. Well, you know what? Let's try Ashton. Let's see what he chooses and see how that turns out for him. Still quite a few things up there to choose from, and he's going with the shiny little Oscar. All right, an Oscar award. Hey, that's not bad. Think of all the fame and prestige and the money and stuff that comes with being famous. Getting an Oscar broke. That's actually not that bad of a thing, because that's a good illustration of the way it is. That kind of thing doesn't last. Even if you had a real one, it would just be a bunch of materials, and it wouldn't last. You can't take it with you. People may praise you one day for your gifts and your talent, but it's like they say in Hollywood, you're only as good as your last movie. One day people can be praising you and saying, oh, you're so great, and we're guilty of the same thing. The next day we're all saying, what a terrible actor that person is. All right? And so, you know, those are things that they just don't fully satisfy. All right? At least not in that way. You know what? Let's go with Emma here. Let's see what she chooses. The list is growing smaller here. We're going straight for the money. I'm not surprised that some that was taken. I'm surprised I wasn't taken for that. But money's great, right? Think of all the things you can buy with it and stuff. But yeah, thing about money is you spend it and it's gone. And we kind of go through this cycle, right? Every single one of us likes to get new things. Got to get the new iPhone. Got to get the next game console, whatever. New car. We all like to have new things, but what happens to every single new thing we ever buy? It's old. It turns into an old thing. Then what? Well, we need another new thing, and so we need more money. It's a never-ending cycle. But the reality is, we can't take those things or that money with us, and it doesn't matter how many of those things we get, we always want more. It doesn't fully satisfy. We got one more shot here. Kellen, all right?